Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited. Drone most wanted. FBI seeking drone pilot who smacked CL-415. Boom May Go Supersonic. ANN to offer incomparable coverage of SnF 2025. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. Drone most wanted. FBI seeking drone pilot who smacked CL-415. The FBI is not kidding around with the pilot of the drone that was involved in a mid-air collision with a firefighting aircraft over LA on January 9th. It has issued a seeking information poster that is also on the most wanted page of its website and set up a digital media tip line seeking the help of the public in identifying the pilot of the drone. Violating any TFR is a serious federal offense, but the ones established over wildfires are intended to prevent exactly this type of mid-air collision. Violators are punishable by up to 12 months in prison and/or a fine of up to $75,000. The poster includes a photo of what appears to be fragments of the drone involved in the incident, as well as photos showing the damage sustained by the firefighting aircraft, a Canada-Air CL-415 Super Scooper. The pilot was able to land the aircraft successfully, and there were no injuries in the air or on the ground. However, it's so very important that people understand that this was a very fortunate outcome, but the result could have been much worse, potentially bringing the aircraft down. After the break, Boeing 727 goes for $10,000 at auction. Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Boeing 727 goes for $10K at auction. A non-airworthy Boeing 727 airliner built in 1966 that sat in the open at El Paso International Airport was auctioned by the city for $10,000. The city had described it as being in derelict condition. The aircraft had been mostly gutted and parked, exposed to the sun and weather since the early 2000s. It sold for the $10K auction price, including taxes and auction fees. The buyer bid $20 over the next highest bid and has until January 27th to remove the plane. Hartzell Carbon Voyager prop gets STC for Skywagon. Hartzell's Voyager prop has received STC approval for the Cessna Skywagon, making it now available for Cessna 180, 182, 185, 206, and T-206 single-engine aircraft with the Continental 470-50, 520, and 550 engines. The advanced carbon fiber composite propellers are built on the performance of the metal Voyager prop introduced in 2019. The propeller is the next evolution of Hartzell's purpose-built props for the Cessna Skywagon. The propeller weighs just 54 pounds, 20.8 pounds lighter than the aluminum version. NBAA and GAMA support Duffy for DOT head. The National Business Aviation Association and the General Aviation Manufacturers Association, two of the leading U.S. aviation organizations, issued statements in support of President-elect Donald Trump's nomination of Congressman Sean Duffy to become the next Secretary of the DOT. Duffy's nomination hearing in the U.S. Senate Committee on Commerce, Science, and Transportation took place this week. NBAA has previously cited Duffy's ability as a congressman to work in a bipartisan fashion, as well as navigating complex legislative processes. Florida Airport adds name change to its need list. St. Augustine, Florida stakeholders recently told the St. Johns County Legislative Delegation what items were put on its need list for 2025. One of the main hopes for this year is to get back its original name, ditching the long and confusing title it was given 15 years ago. Things started getting rocky in April 2010 when Florida legislators approved renaming the field to Northeast Florida Regional Airport in St. Augustine. Luckily, this was shortened to just Northeast Florida Regional Airport in 2016. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. Boom May Go Supersonic. On January 10th, after Boom Supersonic's XB-1 reached an altitude of 29,481 feet MSL and Mach 0.95 during a 44-minute flight with Chief Test Pilot Tristan Geppetto-Brandenburg at the controls, the team is reviewing the flight data to determine whether one more test flight is needed in the quest for achieving supersonic flight. Blake Scholl, founder and CEO of Boom, was happy about this latest flight. He posted a video on X and said, quote, "When approaching the speed of sound, parts of the airflow become supersonic. We've predicted shock waves at Mach 0.95, and if you look carefully enough, there they are," end quote. A spokesperson for Boom explained, quote, "The primary objective for Flight 11 was expanding dynamic pressure to 383 KEAS, knots equivalent airspeed, a higher number than will be experienced during XB-1's first supersonic flight. This is the highest dynamic pressure the aircraft will ever experience, pushing beyond the anticipated pressure the aircraft will experience at Mach 1.1. The team will now carry out a thorough data review to decide whether another test flight is needed before the first attempt at taking XB-1 supersonic." Scholl also wrote, quote, "We did have some GPS and radio issues. Team was contemplating one more subsonic flight to wring those out before we go boom," end quote. After these messages, ANN to offer incomparable coverage of Sun and Fun 2025.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com. The legendary BD4C program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged four-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190 mph BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more details.
Welcome back. ANN to offer incomparable coverage of Sun and Fun 2025. ANN has prepared its most comprehensive coverage ever of the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo, happening this April 1st through 6th. We're already posting stories to the Sun and Fun digital daily website at SnF25.com, but the real excitement starts Monday afternoon at 1600 Eastern when the Sun and Fun Innovation Preview starts, with announcements of dozens of new products, developments, and other surprises. You can log on to airborne-live.net to see it all live, and we have to say some of these announcements are pretty exciting. After that, each day starts with a short live morning brief at 0900, detailing the news and programs for each day, also available at airborne-live.net, followed by a very special edition of Airborne at the end of each day, where we report on the highlights of Lakeland at airborne-tv.net. The Sun and Fun Digital Daily Gang will be posting stories, pictures, videos, and more throughout each day and night at the SnFDD.com site. But come Saturday, we're updating some amazing programming we initiated last year, Saturday Flight Live. Check in with the Saturday Flight Live crew at noon Saturday, April 5th for an exciting live pre-show, followed by live airshow coverage of the big show from the Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. Check everything out at airborne-live.net. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.